In the ancient days of Magic the Gathering, things were wacky and wild, but out of nowhere, one set appeared to change the game forever. Magic. I am a wizard! History. I'm an old wizard! The Magic Historian. My bones hurt. Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles, my friends. I hope the day finds you well because we have gathered for another historical opening. And unlike the last one, which covered Homelands, which was a set that was universally panned and really didn't have much impact on the game, today we're going to be doing Alliances, a set that had an impact on the game that is still felt to this day. It was only the 8th set ever made for Magic the Gathering, and it was the last set where we ever got multiple variant artworks for one particular card, at least in the old days. Now, with the styles that they do and everything like that, things have changed. But in the oldest days, you had things like Fallen Empires, where you had 4 different copies of a particular card with 4 different artwork, right? Well, Alliances ended that. For this set, the commons and uncommons both had 2 different variations of artwork, but because Magic was becoming more of an international sort of sensation, Wizards of the Coast decided to discontinue using variation artwork so that it would be easier to tell across the table what card you were facing regardless of language, right? So, Alliances is the only set ever made in Magic the Gathering, aside from the Chronicles reprint set, that features 12 card booster packs, and it is the only set before Mythic Rarity was introduced to the game that actually featured different tiers of rares. So the rares aren't all equal in the set of Alliances. Now, there's one card in particular that ultimately changed the nature of Magic the Gathering, but because we're going to be opening up a booster, I don't want to tell you what that card is on the off chance we run into it. So, we're going to dive in, go through the booster pack, and then afterwards, if we haven't encountered the one specific card that ultimately fundamentally changed Magic the Gathering, I'll include that info at the end for you as well. Now, let's dive into the pack. All right, so here we have the Alliances booster. This one is in Italian, so it's Magic la Dananza, Gioco de Richard Garfield. And take a look, we have one of the ancient Alliances benthic merfolk here, right? Basically, the Alliances set takes place after the Ice Age has started to thaw out. So the inhabitants of the world are able to move around more, but there's a massive threat as Lim-Dûl is raising legions of the dead, right? I do like the colors of the booster pack as well. Like, take a look at the back with that purple and black, man. It's just got that old school vibe to it. Now, with no further ado, let's actually get inside this. Let's get inside this. Oh, come on, you tricky little habit. I don't want to damage the pack too much because I actually save these boosters afterwards and keep the cards in them. Okay, so let's get this zeroed in, getting a little bigger on the cards here for you, my friends. So, we're starting out with a real challenge. This is Lim-Dûl's Paladin. Interestingly enough, right out the gates, we're seeing somebody who's serving Lim-Dûl, the necromancer who's trying to take over the world, right? So, this is a Dark Paladin. 1 red, 1 black, and 2 for a 0/3. Oh, this guy's weird. I think he has Trample. And basically, whenever you attack with him, oh Lord, this is going to be nutty. So when you attack with him and he's blocked, he gets +6/+3, right? So if you attack with him and he gets blocked, he turns into a 6/6 trampler. But if you end up attacking with him and he doesn't become blocked, then your opponent loses 4 life. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. And I also believe that he has some horrific come into play effect, like discard a card at random from your hand or some nonsense like that, right? So this is some weird old wonky magic right here. You're looking and you go, 4 mana, but wait a minute, a 6/6 trampler? That's pretty intense, right? But he's only a 6/6 trampler if he's blocked. Otherwise, he's a 0/3, but if he's not blocked, then your opponent loses 4. It's so weird. And the artwork shows the Paladin actually looking completely intense and insane, right? You look at this massive inferno behind him. I always found this to be very striking artwork, but nobody ever really was able to get this paladin to work right. After that, we've got, oh, this is Juniper Order Advocate. 1 white and 2 for a 1/2, I think it's a knight. Basically, as long as it's out and untapped, all of your green creatures that you control get +1/+1. Now, this was a big deal back in the day because almost every single card that gave +1/+1 benefits was across the board. So it would hit both yours and your opponent's creatures. This is one of the first cards that said, give your creatures a bonus, but not your opponent's, right? And the artwork, I mean, you've got the straightforward concept of, look at this knight. I shall protect you with chivalry, you fine elven maiden. That's how it's always come across to me, right? You have the actual dude who's part of the order, and then he is protecting this elven princess. It has the old classic fantasy vibes, right? Now, I don't know what the flavor text is at all on this. So let's move on to the next card. The next card is, oh, what is this? Is this Spiny Starfish? This is a funky one. 1 blue and 2 for a 0/1 Starfish, 1 blue mana, regenerated. And then he makes 0/1 Starfish. I think how it works is, at the end of the turn, if Spiny Starfish got regenerated, then you make a 0/1. I'm pretty sure that's the deal, because I remember having this guy out and trying to get my opponents to attack into him or something like that. I don't know if it's non-combat damage. I can't remember if I tried to do silly stuff like using Prodigal Sorcerers to ping this guy to make little 0/1s, but I've always liked cards that make additional token creatures back in the day, even though they were wonky, you know, like Wall of Kelp and stuff like that. It always appealed to me, just a little squad. And the artwork is funny too, because it shows this starfish who's just blamping out a ton of tiny little ones. Pew, 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 just firing starfish all over the place. And I just picture the planeswalkers in this epic battle. I summon a dragon! I summon a demon! I summon a starfish! Get him, Sploopy! And they beep, 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 beep. And it's like, those are all 0/1 starfish. Yeah, but you just wait till I get my sunken city and they get beefed up, boy. Like, it's goofy fun. Then we have, oh, dude, look at that artwork. That's nuts. Okay, this is Thought Lash, right? Yeah, Thought Lash. 2 blue and 2 for a really insane enchantment. What does it do again? Oh yeah, this is the Eat Your Deck card, right? Okay. Let's do this. The second ability, 0, is exile the top card of your deck, like basically remove the top card of your deck from the game, prevent the next 1 damage that would be dealt to you, all right? That is basically what it does. It lets you eat your deck to stop damage. But I also think it has this insane additional part at the top, which says that it's got a cumulative upkeep where you have to basically like mill cards off of your deck. Isn't that how it works? Basically, you have to like mill cards, or is it drawing cards? It's basically like the first ability is a cumulative upkeep that will chew through your deck as well, either through milling or drawing. And I can't. The cards back then were so awful that my brain wants to go, is it mill? I mean, if it was card draw 1 card, then draw 2 cards, then draw 3 cards. I'm going to say it's got to be like mill yourself or exile cards off the top of your deck as a cumulative upkeep, and then also exile cards to prevent damage. All for 4 blue. This is dreadful, but the artwork is incredible. Look at it. Look at her face. Look at her mouth as she's just blamping out these crazy words. And then you've got this like almost, I don't know, like a feed me Seymour kind of Little Shop of Horrors beast on the back of her head with this crazy tongue coming out of it. And it's like, at first I thought this was something tunneling into the brain, but it's like the brain is also coming out of the mouth with a crazy like nature lash tongue. Like, this artwork is absolutely incredible and really hard to understand at the same time. Let's move on. Oh no, what is this? What is this? Come on. Errand? Is it Knight's Errand? Something like that? 1 white and 1 for an instant, and you make a 1/1 knight token with banding? I think that's what it is. I think it's make a 1/1 banding token, right? The artwork is pretty standard. It's like you got a little squire down there who's got the knight's horse. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what it does. Let's move on to the next card. Oh, what is this? Testamento. Oh, Legacy. Legacy of Latnam or Latnam's Legacy. One or the other. 1 blue and 1. Oh, what was this one? Is this one shuffle a card from your hand into your deck and then draw 2 cards at the end of the turn or next turn? They had all these weird cantrips back in the day where instead of just doing it right away, it would be like, nah, bro, you gotta wait till the end of the turn. Nah, bro, you gotta wait until next turn. It's like, oh, are you serious? Why? Why do I have to wait to get my cards? So I'm gonna go with, this is pick a card from your hand, shuffle it back into your deck. At the end of your turn, draw 2 cards, all right? The artwork shows, oh, what? Wow, I've never noticed this before. I've seen this artwork many, many times, and I always saw this individual with the scroll, and my brain just went, is that Latnam? But I never actually noticed there are little blue figures who are actually wrecking up the place, right? Like, this guy's kicking books over, they're stealing scrolls and stuff. It's like, what? Now I actually don't know what the concept of this is. It's like, we're going to learn the legacy of Latnam. I brought my little blue trolls who are going to destroy everything. This is confusing. But anyways, let's move on. Oh, Varchild. This is Varchild's Crusader, is it? Varchild was a really weird card. There was like 2 cards that came out in alliances that made token creatures, but made them under your opponent's control. And Varchild was one of them. Not this card. This guy serves Varchild. So this is 1 red and 3 for a 3/2. And I think this guy's ability is basically, for 0 mana, you can make him unblockable for the rest of the turn, but then at the end of the turn, you have to sacrifice him. So basically, you can guarantee to get him through, but he's going to lose his life in the process. He's got the vibe of like a highway bandit here, right? Like you're heading down this kind of wooded path here and you just encounter him on his rearing horse. He looks pretty impressive. And actually, I guess this sort of dark woodland path might illustrate how he's able to come through unblocked, right? Where it's like, I'm taking these kind of back paths, but there's also a danger associated with it. Ultimately, 4 mana for a 3/2 that can only be unblockable once. This is emblematic of how awful a lot of old school Magic cards were, but it did have interesting flavor. After that, we have, what is this? This is Fevered Frenzy, Fevered Strength, I'm going to say Fevered Strength. Fevered Strength, 1 black and 2 for an instant. It gives one of your creatures +2/+0 until end of turn. And this is going to be one of those weird ones that says draw a card like during the next upkeep or whatever. That's what I'm saying. +2/+0 to target creature at instant speed, and then draw a card during the next upkeep. Wonky. Look at this dude. He's been in, like, that's some dark magic. I'm going to give you power, but it's through pestilence. And, that's absolutely gross. No, thanks. I don't want your strength boost. I'd rather be healthy. All right, what do we got after that? We got, what is this? Whipvine? Whipping Tendril? I feel like Whipvine. 1 green and 2 for a 1/4. This can block flying creatures, right? It doesn't have reach, though, does it? It can block creatures that have flying and creatures... Is it? Yeah, it can block creatures that have flying, and creatures that it blocked that have flying don't get tapped and don't untap next turn. And then you can tap it to basically... Oh, wait. Okay, I think how it works is this guy can block flyers, and then when you tap, like, you can tap him to target a creature you're blocking with him, and then that creature that you're blocking doesn't get to untap normally for as long as you leave this guy tapped. So it's like, the idea is it can whip up into the air, drag something down, and then just go, you're staying down here trapped in the vines. That's the vibe that I get from it. This is an entrapping flying creatures style creature. Man, these old abilities are wonky. Trying to remember how they're parsed out is actually quite difficult, but it makes this fun. All right, what's after that? Then we've got Martyrdom, I believe. Martyrdom is a pretty straightforward one, right? It's 2 white and 1. And is this retroactive or an advance? I don't know if it works the same way that Simulacrum does, where it's like the Simulacrum one says all damage that was already done to you is retroactively applied to a creature. I think Martyrdom is probably you pick a creature and for the rest of the turn, it takes all the damage you would, or it takes all the damage the next time you would. But this is an instant feed the damage to your creature, just like one dude, right? In the artwork, you can see straight up a martyr. It's a very straightforward sort of thing. I took it for you, Billy. And Billy's like, we gotta get out of here. Thank you for your brave sacrifice, Jim John. All right, after that, we've got Soldevi Adept. Okay, so the Soldevi Adepts, I believe these ones were like represented, what was it? Dedicated to like artifact magic. So 1 black and 1 for a 1/2. Tap it. Sacrifice a creature or artifact creature to add black mana equal to its casting cost, is my guess. My guess is sack a creature or artifact creature, gain mana equal to its casting cost, and then you can use it at instant speed. No. This would be a mana source. Old school days. Use it at interrupt speed. That is my guess. So this is interrupt speed, sack a creature, and gain mana equal, sack a creature or artifact creature, gain black mana equal to its casting cost. Which doesn't seem too shabby, actually. That's not too bad power-wise. Oh, Arcane Denial. What a great card to end off on. This actually changed the way that Wizards did card design. Arcane Denial is a very powerful hard counter. 1 blue and 1, counter target spell, and then your opponent gets to draw 2 cards, and then you get to draw an extra card at the beginning of like the next turn or the next turn's upkeep. So it's a hard counter. Your opponent gets 2 cards off of it, which at first glance you go, ooh, wait, I don't want to let you draw 2 cards. But ultimately, a hard counter that's only 1 blue and 1 is way too powerful. Wizards decided from that point onwards, they were never going to do that again. They're like, okay, you know what? We are going to make hard counters cost a bare minimum of 2 blue. Giving a hard counter that you can splash for a blue and 1 is too much power, all right? And this is actually artwork done by my favorite old school Magic artist, Richard Kane Ferguson. Look at that artwork. Looks so awesome. So this made a big change to Magic the Gathering, but we didn't encounter the card that fundamentally changed the game. That card being Force of Will, another counterspell that is a hard counter that you can play for free by pitching a blue card from your hand and paying a life. Now, when that card first came out, most people didn't realize how powerful it was, which is absolutely insane. As soon as I saw it, I happened to be playing blue back in the day. So as soon as I saw it, I was like, this fixes the hole that blue has on the first turn, where if your opponent gets a Black Vice or a first turn Dark Ritual Hypnotic Spectre, you're in a lot of trouble. So it shored up the situation for blue and went, now you can handle first turn situations like it's nothing as well, which is absolutely nutty. And at the time, made blue far too powerful. But it changed Magic forever in the way that Force of Will became essentially necessary. Ow, sorry, I hit the microphone there. So it became absolutely necessary as a tool to stop basically combo decks and everything else. So it basically allowed for earlier, crazier strategies because you have this ability to stop it without having to have mana at your disposal. And as a result, we have seen newer iterations of Force of Will style cards in Magic the Gathering, specifically in things like the Modern Horizon sets, because they do provide a fundamental power balance to the game. So it's interesting that Force of Will originally was super unbalanced in favor of blue, but ultimately ended up bringing more balance to the game underneath and changing the game forever. So I hope that you enjoyed this historical opening. I'm going to leave a link up on the screen to the playlist of all of these opening videos. If you enjoy this type of stuff, then share it around because these videos don't get seen by as many people, and word of mouth definitely helps. Speaking of help, I would like to thank all my patrons for helping me out, and I will see all of you, my friends, for the next video.